wash your clothes in cold water. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Now, depending on how soiled the clothing is. But again, there are ways we can cut around things. Taking shorter hot showers. Now, I don't know about a study that's saying that, because you're in the shower longer, you get cleaner. I should look into that. But I feel like they say 5 to 10 minute showers, 15. Now, get out my business how long I've been in there, but that's a thought. And then also, like I mentioned before, around the house, bundle up with warm blankets, socks, and sweaters. Now, if you're interested, you say, hey, I want to make sure my voice is heard at this meeting that's taking place at 5:30 p.m., well, you can attend virtually and in person. So if you want more information about that, well, go ahead and check out longbeach.gov/city clerk. Again, this is Mayor Rex Richardson right in Long Beach, here to address the issues of why the gas bills are so damn high. And he said, people, let's come together so we can figure out what's going on. Another thing that's going on, if you are a SNAP beneficiary, meaning you get your benefits, EBT, well, there's a big change coming, and it's sweeping the nation. Americans that are reliant on SNAP benefits will soon see a cut in their monthly payments, as the extra money added during the pandemic will soon expire in February, i.e. this month. Federal government says millions of low-income Americans need to prepare to cut back in February for South Carolina in March and for 32 other states. Millions will lose around $95 in additional monthly benefits from the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. Now, 17 states have already jumped on the bandwagon. That includes Alaska, Arizona, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, North Dakota, South Dakota, and so much more. In fact, Stacey Dean of the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Undersecretary for Food and Nutrition said the extra funds were part of the pandemic-era program, meaning that it was always extra money and it was only temporary. Now, this decrease comes as a national inflation remains high, especially when we talk about the cost of food, we talking about gas, we talking about trying to find a job. So when they say when you know better, you do better. So here's a heads up on how you need to save your money and when it's happening, okay? Now, just as a reminder, the SNAP benefits were increased by 27% last year in the account for the cost of living. Social Security payments were increased by the largest amount in 40 years this January after annual cost of living adjustments. So what you gonna do? You gonna prepare what? All right, well, I guess it's time to break a break. I ain't guess. It is time to take a break. On the flip side, this is where I'm coming back with some resources and information for you. I'm going to tell you how you can win some money, how you can refer somebody to get some money, heck, maybe even how to get a job. I don't know. All I know is you got to stay tuned. And then what I'm really, truly excited about, I put on mascara and everything. Lord knows. I don't know if I'm going to just get emotional, but I got two special guests coming in the studio. We have Sally Ghattas, a medical assistant to a breast cancer surgeon at UCLA. And then we also have Dr. Anouchka Coste Holt. She received her medical degree from A.T. Still University School of Osteopathic Medicine in Arizona, here to discuss breast cancer. Do you have any questions? Do you know somebody that has a diagnosis? I got the people in the studio. In fact, I got a listener that pulled up. 520-KJLH, 520-5554. It's the front page. I'm doing like the break of day. We'll be right back.
This is The Front Page with Dawn Dai on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
Hey, it's Steve Harvey, y'all. Here's what happened on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. So I'm not saying any of this is happening to the lady that wrote the letter, but I'm saying there's a lot of stupid going on in this letter, though. Gloria and Gloria old, because don't nobody name their kid Gloria no more.
What would her name be today?
Gloria? Glokesherish.
It's hard to say. What is it?
Glokesherish.
Weekdays from 6 to 10 on your station. 102.3 Radio Free KJLH.
Hey, family, what's up? I'm Lon McHugh. Join me Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Listen, I've got the perfect music for work and play, no matter where you are. The KJLH Radio Free mobile app. I'll keep you informed with what's trending. I'll update your traffic and weather scenes. And man, when you call, the fun really jumps off at 520-KJLH.
Are you giving away something?
No.
Oh.
It's like, okay, bye. So yeah, make it a plan with me, Lon McHugh, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. right here on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
Come on.
Radio Free in 2023 means free money. We're paying your bills with Radio Free Cash Relief.
What is your name?
Carmen Mitchell.
And what city do you live in, Carmen?
HB, Huntington Beach.
She said HB. I didn't know Huntington Beach had a nickname.
Hold on now, Carmen.
But sis, I am paying your car notes.
Yes! Thank you. Tell me you're the best.
We've got you next. Register your bill now at KJLHradio.com and listen for your name every day, Monday through Friday at 4:10 p.m.
Hey everybody, this is Andre Russell. And I know what you want to hear on Sunday, and I'll play it for you.
Make some noise in here.
Great artists like Kirk Franklin, Mary, Jonathan McReynolds, Marvin Sapp, Fred Hammond, and I got it for you on Spread the Word every Sunday. From 12 noon to 6 p.m. Cutting edge gospel artists and the leading ministers from around the world. And Bible Jeopardy, where you can win prizes. Get ready for it every Sunday and Spread the Word from 12 to 6 right here on 102.3 KJLH.
Radio Free 102.3 KJLH, bringing you the finest music from all regions of the world on Worldwide Hits every Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. I'm your host, Hugh Fuller. Hop aboard every Saturday afternoon and join me as we couple the best of our Radio Free music mix with the best international sounds from around the world. Saturday afternoons 1 to 4, it's Worldwide Hits right here on KJLH, number 1 globally.
Hey everybody, this is Roland Bynum. Join me Saturdays from 5 to 9 for the Block Party starting at 5. It's your spiritual inspirational time. Triple plays at 6. And at 6:20, we exercise at the Rose Bowl, Darby Park, Kenneth Hahn Park, or in your home. 7 to 9, it's the music from the soundtrack of your life, plus birthday shout-outs at 8:10. So join me, Roland Bynum, Saturdays from 5 to 9 for the Block Party and the music from the soundtrack of your life. Yesterday's music for today's memories, only on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
You're listening to The Front Page with Dawn Day on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
The first question I have to ask you, beautiful people, who wants some money? Who trying to get paid? I done talked about how these gas bills are too high. Mayor Rex Richardson is calling an emergency meeting so you can save money. Well, I'm going to tell you how you can get somebody to help pay them bills. Get this Radio Free money. So far, we paid credit card bills, water bills, rent, and more. Winners from all over LA and beyond. And you still got time. Go ahead and head over to KJLHradio.com, okay? When you head over there, there's a big picture that say cash relief. Just follow the cash. Sweet, sweet cash. Once you click it, you're going to put your name, you're going to put your number, you're going to put your email, you're going to put all your contact information. And most importantly, you're going to put the title, the name of the bill you need to be paid, and the amount. Then the next step of what I need you to do, tune in at 410. I mean, the rest of LA is doing it. They're listening to LA's voted best radio personality, Tammy Mack, because if she calls your name at 410, you checking me? If she call you at 410, you got 10 minutes to call her back. Don't call back at 11 or 12. Tammy, I forgot. I told you, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Call her back in time, right? And boom, your bill is paid. You thought that was more. That's it. So again, head over to KJLHradio.com. Sign up. Listen. Tammy Mack calls your name. Dial 520-KJLH, 520-5554. And bam, your bill is paid. And you know that we do this for you because we are you at KJLH. Right? It's only possible at Radio Free. 102.3 KJLH. And since I am excited about that, I told you I'm coming back on the flip side, and I'm going to give you some resources and information. You know, I love me some Wellness Wednesday because that's what we love on ourselves. And I end the show every day talking about how you are your greatest asset. Well, Martin Luther King Jr., Community Healing and Trauma Prevention Center seem to think the same thing as well. In fact, you know they host free in-person support groups led by licensed mental health clinicians every Wednesday. The sessions cover topics such as trauma, depression, anxiety, and resiliency. They happen from 2:30 to 4, located off of Wilmington Avenue, 11833 South Wilmington Avenue. And if you want more information, because you understand that if you want to be better and do better, you need to see yourself better, well, go ahead and call 323-568-8732. That's 323-568-8732. In fact, you can also shoot an email over to MLK Healing Center at ph.lacounty.gov. Also, you know it's Wednesday, and I had the founder of Eastside Riders Bike Club, the one and only John Jones III, in studio. And here's some more information. You know, every Wednesday, they have their free food giveaway. Yeah, it's in Watts, and it's available to anyone in need. So you can drive up or you can walk up. All I need for you to do is pull up. Okay? So if you're free today and every Wednesday after that, and you perhaps want to help and lend an extra hand, well, help is always welcome. Head over there at 11 a.m. The address is 1513 East 103rd Street, right here in LA. In fact, if you want more information, contact the bike club and tell them that Dawn Dai sent you. The email is eastsidebikes@gmail.com. And if you downloaded the KJLH radio app, well, if you click on the on-demand feature and then click on view episodes of the front page, you can actually check out the conversation that I had with John Jones yourself and see how we making waves in the community. See how you can get out there on your bike and see the business out there. Plus, improve your health, and it can be for free. Free. Did you hear me? Catch it, because it's hot. All right, what else is hot right now is I have these two lovely ladies in the studio. I've teased this before, and I said, hey, we're about to have a conversation on this Wellness Wednesday. And it means a lot to my heart because I shared with you that my mother transitioned from stage 4 breast cancer. What has it been now? Is it going on 11 years now? God, dog. That's interesting how time go by that fast. And when we talk about the African-American community, when we talk about just women of color, we have to acknowledge the bias or the disparities, rather, the lack of equity when it comes to our treatment, why it comes to our survival rate. And I said, hey, they said when we have front page, we have these real conversations with real people right now because it's about us. So if you got some questions, you better call me. 520-KJLH. 520-5554. In fact, if you are watching, because we are streaming live on Instagram and Facebook, we have our special guest in the studio at Dawn Dai Speaks. So Dawn, who are these special guests? I'm glad you asked me. You hear them giggling. We have Dr. Anouchka Coste Holt. She received her medical degree from A.T. Still University, School of Osteopathic Medicine in Arizona. She graduated from general surgery residency at Wyckoff Heights Medical Center in Brooklyn, New York. During her residency, she took 2 years off to dedicate time to basic science research with NCI T32 Research Fellowship funded grant studying metastatic breast cancer. She is currently completing her breast surgical oncology fellowship at UCLA and will be completed by July 2023. She is passionate about improving outcomes for minority patients, as well as integrative practices for patients dealing with breast cancer. Now, this other beautiful, shining starlet, her name is Sally Ghattas. So let me tell you something. I met Sally last year when I hosted Winter Wonderland right here at Crenshaw Mall. And so I was like, wow, this is a way to really get in the community. And for some reason, we just connected. And I said, she's like, well, I got stuff. Let me tell you something. And then we started talking about breast cancer. She's like, well, I said, can you come on front page? I need people to know. She said, yeah. And so here she is. So let me tell you, Sally Ghattas is a medical assistant to a breast cancer surgeon at UCLA Health with over 10 years of experience in the medical field. She has worked in various specialties and taken risks to grow in her career. Because what do we say? The greater the risk, the greater the reward?
Yeah.
Along with her medical profession, Sally is actively involved in community outreach through its Bigger Than Us platform and has led several impactful community projects. Sally believes in hard work, self-belief, and taking risks, and is a testament to the idea that women can achieve a lot.
Amen.
Hey, catch it. Radio Free family, front page family. Send your radio waves, your warm round of applause for our special guests, Sally Ghattas and Dr. Anouchka Coste Holt.
Morning.
Great morning. Doctor, can I call you Dr. Anouchka or should I call you Dr. Holt?
You can call, well.
What you want? Talk that
my
talk.
My husband's like, you should be Dr. Holt now, but I'm like, I work too hard. It should be still Dr. Coste.
So Dr. Holt, say it.
Dr. Coste Holt.
Dr. Coste Holt, okay?
I gotta keep my father's name.
That's right, because that's legacy, huh?
Yeah.
Catch it.
Yeah.
And legacy is what we're doing right here because you guys are paving the way of survival mode for so many people's lives. A lot of people aren't privy to the resources and the information when it comes about health, let alone we talking about breast cancer because it's scary. People are running from it.
Yeah.
But y'all here to have this conversation, y'all?
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
We're ready.
In fact, I gave y'all 411. We actually had a listener that pulled up. She said, Dawn, I heard you got people on talking about breast cancer. I'm in stage 4. The doctor said I don't have much time. This can't be it. Well, you got to show up. You got to show up. And it's, I don't know about you, but I live in a but God kind of lifestyle. Knowledge changes things. Prayer changes things. And action changes things. So y'all ready to have this conversation, family? Call me. 520-KJLH. 520-5554. In fact, we already have a call on the line. I'm going to bust it open with you, and then I'm going to go to the conversation. All right, let me do some homework.
We're making it rain. Radio Free Cash Relief. Sign up now at KJLHradio.com and listen every day, Monday through Friday at 4:10 p.m. We are 102.3 KJLH at HD. Compton, Los Angeles, Long Beach, Inglewood. We are you.
We are you, so we're here for you. So let's go to this phone line. Great morning. Who's this?
This is Merlin. Praise the Lord up in here in Meredith.
Hello there. Great morning to you.
Great morning to you. It's good to hear your voice. Happy New Year's to you and all the co-workers as well.
Thank you so much, Miss Marilyn. I'm so glad. I was actually talking about you a few days ago because there's an organization called the Nonprofit Plug that I think you can tap into to get funding as you feed people down on Skid Row.
Absolutely. I heard you. I listen to you every day. I just been in and out of town, and I'm just so glad that the Lord blessed me to reach out to you. I called a couple of times, and I talked to, I guess, Josh?
Jeremiah.
What's his name? The other guy, yes. Anyway, I talked to him, and I couldn't stay on the phone too long to talk to you, but I did send my love and a Happy New Year. And, yes, I'm here to talk about as well about the cancer. I just want to say to the speaker that's there, thank God for you all. We made it. I had cancer, too. I had rectum cancer. My rectum cancer. They cut it out. They cut out some of my intestines. Well, I had intestine cancer. It was in my intestines, and that was some years ago. But they cut some of my intestines out, and because it was cancer spreading pretty bad. So I'm walking around here. Thank God I'm still here, and I'm walking around with some of my intestines.
And you're still here. And now you're still able to give to others. So hopefully if there's some questions or some things that you went through, we're going to address that today, yeah?
Oh, yes. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Marilyn. Thank you so much. I love you. Tell Meredith I say hi.
I sure will. Here he is.
Hey, Meredith.
God bless you.
All right. Talk to y'all. Bye-bye now.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I got another call on the line, but we got to jump into the conversation. Okay, well, we lost them, but we'll jump into the conversation and then we'll jump back. The lines are open, but let's get it going, okay? So like I told you, we have Dr. Coste Holt in his studio, as well as Sally Ghattas. So, ladies, Dr. Coste Holt, tell us a little bit about you and what is it that you do here?
Well, I'm actually
Pull up in this mic.
I'm sorry. This is my first time on the radio, y'all. I'm actually finishing my fellowship right now in breast surgical oncology at UCLA. I came in to do general surgery. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I thought I was going to be a pediatric surgeon. And then I started, seeing breast cancer patients and totally fell in love with the whole practice and seeing these women and getting them through their cancer. I think the first patient I ever had that I was really, this patient, she was pregnant.
Wait, what?
She was pregnant with breast cancer. And I never forget her because she had just this horrible breast cancer, and we were able to get her through it. She delivered her babies.
Wow.
Yeah, we did her surgery, and she was able to breastfeed on the other side, and it was kind of amazing. And then I took the 2 years off. I knew I wanted to do research, and I still at the time wasn't sure about, breast, and I was like, okay. And then I started doing the research, and I just realized like how much we don't know, like how much we still don't know. There's so many people researching. There's a lot of work to be done. And unfortunately, you start realizing that a disproportionate amount of people that are affected by breast cancer are Black and Hispanic women, which for me is everyone I know, everyone I love. So that's why it became, important to me to pursue this career and try to, do something about it. Like not just try to cure cancer. I was behind the seat doing, in the lab with mice, everything, like all of it, studying this stuff. And it's a really challenging disease to get around. And, the healthcare system isn't set up well for those that don't have insurance. So I think that whatever impact I can try to make and do is really important to me. So that's why I'm here.
Wow. Well, you already touched my heart. What about you, Sally?
Well, I am a surgical coordinator at UCLA Health. And in my position, what I am set up to do is to guide and prepare the patient for surgery. My biggest message when I'm dealing with my cancer patient is to let them know that the treatment is not bigger than the disease.
Catch it.
So you have to know, like, you're here. However you feel about it, if you're angry, if you're sad, you're taking that step already because you're here in the office, and you're going to have a team that's going to take care of you, and we're going to guide you, and we're going to get you through this. And you have to know that, trust the process, because now it's not, there's this cliche about breast cancer that if I get it, I'm going to die. Like, oh, it's going to happen. Right.
Yeah.
And there's so much, it's so clinically advanced now.
Yeah.
So you have to know
it's
that.
It's just catching it early, honestly. Yeah. It's getting the screening, and they can catch it. I mean, if you start your screenings early, and again, I think that there's a lot of research still being done, especially for Black women. They're disproportionately affected with the type of cancer that they're getting because it's more aggressive, and they're getting it younger.
Is this the TNBC?
The triple negative. The killer of all killers. Yeah, that is the cancer that you do not want to have. I mean, they have been making strides and waves with the new drugs that we were able to treat, and almost, I've met patients that have been, survived, almost 17 years after getting it treated early. But there are some patients that don't do as well, but it's definitely one, when I hear it, it makes me shudder,
Well, what is it? What is TNBC?
TNBC is basically, it's the type of tumor receptors on the cancer. All cancers have receptors on their surface, and for by and large, all these tumor receptors are hormone driven. So the estrogen, the progesterone that we normal in women, especially in women's bodies, those are gone. The receptors are not existent. There's a third receptor called the HER2, which is also on the cancer cell. That's also gone. So all those targets that we can use to try to treat the cancer are not available to us. So that makes it really difficult to treat.
So you saying cancer? I know some of y'all sitting there. Well, what is cancer exactly? We hear about tumors. We hear benign and then malignant. Right. What are the differences in the two?
Benign tumors don't take over. They basically don't hijack your immune system. They don't hijack the rest of your body and take over. Cells become abnormal, and then abnormal cells start to regenerate, and they start to become what's called immortal, almost. Like they're just like on their own. They're unleashed. They will continue to grow and grow. Whether they're growing healthy or not, they'll just continue to grow.
Kind of like a fibroid, or no?
But a fibroid is benign. Most fibroids are benign, but they're just big. They can be really large. Tumors can be big and still not hurt you, but there's a lot of tumors that are benign and can still hurt you because of the way that they grow. Cancer is malignant in that it will spread to the rest of your body and affect the rest of your systems in the rest of your body, and that will eventually kill you.
So oftentimes, is it the treatment or the cancer that takes people out? Go ahead, Sally. You jumped up.
Sally, go ahead.
I would say the cancer. I mean, it all kind of depends, right? But I think the cancer eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cancer eventually will. It's what happens is when we don't get control of it early on, it'll start to recur. It'll come back if it spreads someplace else. That's why cancer, especially for breast cancer, it's a multidisciplinary treatment. It's like we go for surgery, we go for radiation, we go for the medical oncologist with their chemotherapies and other treatment modalities. So it's important to try to get from all ends. So we take out the cancer. We want to make sure it's not spread. Kill the rest of it that's in your body that may have, spread, because it's microscopic. We don't see every little cell that goes into the rest of your body. So we got to treat it from all angles.
You got to pay attention to yourself.
Right.
Absolutely.
But that's why screening is just so important.
Important.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna agree. I was gonna say.
Yeah,
screening.
I mean, because we see plenty of patients that come in and they have these little. We get rid of these little tiny cancers before they get to the rest of the body, and you can have a good outcome. We can continue screening you. You can keep your breast.
It's possible. It doesn't have to be a death sentence, and
it doesn't. It's not. It's not.
And I'm so glad you said that about that mother, because I thought immediately, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's over.
Yeah.
And Sally, I'm gonna jump to you. These calls are blowing up, and I know people got to address. I told you we got a listener that pulled up.
Yeah.
But Sally, I really want to tap in on your end, because even before we get to the doctor, people see you.
Right.
You see them as a person.
Right.
Before they even get acknowledged the diagnosis. And I think your initial contact is so important. Now, of course, like I told you before, we are streaming live on IG, and Dominic has a comment that says, it's in the food. It's in meat. Agree or disagree, family?
I'm going to say it's in everything. The process that starts cancer is called carcinogenesis. So it's things that we eat. It's a type of food that you eat. Yes, having a healthy diet that's low in fat, and having physical activity. Not having obesity. Those are all things that will reduce your risk for cancer, because those lower the risk, the estrogen, for at least for breast cancer. For other cancers, is also very important. The type of food you eat can also affect it. Yes, processed foods also are a big part of it.
Like
so I don't disagree with Dominic. Dominic does have a point. Yeah, processed foods. Anything that's like has a lot of processed.
What about tuna fish?
Tuna fish is fine. I mean, but it's like, what's in the tuna? You gotta look. You gotta do your research about where you're getting your tuna from.
When you know better, you do better. You gotta see better.
Right.
Let's go to these phone lines. Let's go to line 1. Great morning. This is Front Page. Hello, you there?
Hello?
Hello. Can you turn down your radio, please? Hello?
Hello?
Hey, okay, great morning. This is the Front Page. We have 2 guests in studio, Sally Ghattas and Dr. Coste Holt. Do you have any questions about breast cancer?
I'm a breast cancer survivor a year.
Hey, amen. Hey, amen. Congratulations.
I was wondering, because my breast was full of cysts, and I was wondering, did the cysts cause my breast cancer?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It did not. No, that's a lot of women get cysts. That's perfectly normal. That is not why you got the breast cancer. We all get cysts. Yeah, especially if you were younger.
Yeah.
Some women are more prone to getting cysts, but that's not the reason.
Oh, okay. And I was also wondering, because I also am the only one in my family. They did a genetics test.
The BRCA.
And I'm
yes.
I'm the only one that has, down the line that has the breast cancer. So I was wondering, would it transfer to like my grandkids or
no? So by and large, I would say about almost maybe 85 to 90% of breast cancers are just sporadic in your genes. It doesn't mean that you are going to inherit it. You're going to give it to someone else. It just happens. There are only a small portion of women who get the disease from their family members, like you hear those BRCA genes 1 and 2, all those big names. Those are the one that Angelina Jolie had. Those are very rare. You don't see those as often. So, but most people it just happens. It's not anybody's fault. It just happens.
Okay, and last but not least, I want to encourage all the women that's going through breast cancer. I'm currently back at work. So you can survive after that. I'm currently waiting because I had a double mastectomy. So I'm back at work. I'm doing fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want you to know that you can survive it. You can survive it.
Absolutely.
So, just encouraging all you women that's going through it, don't give up.
Thank you so much.
It's a hard road. I did 6 rounds of chemo and 25 rounds of radiation.
Amen.
So
it's possible. Thank you so much.
I made it.
Hey.
All right, Dawn, with body break a day.
You better catch it. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. So let's just tap in real quick. The lines are blowing up. She talked about BRCA, BRCA. In fact, I shared that my mother transitioned from stage 4 breast cancer. Cancer is down the line. My great grandmother, I remember she was about to be 103 when she transitioned, but I remember them patting her breast. She had cancer. My grandmother had ovarian cancer. My mother, like I said, she had cancer 3 times, ended up transitioning from stage 4 breast cancer. She had a myomectomy, then a mastectomy.
Yes.
Okay, so 1 in each. Okay, that was partial, and then they removed the breast. I have cousins that have had kidney cancer too. So basically, it's rampant aunt. So for me, I know that people say start testing, especially getting your mammograms at 40. Well, my mother transitioned, I was 26. It was then at 27, they said, hey, Dawn, because of your history, 1, let's get tested for the gene. And 2, you ought to start doing your annual mammogram. So first and foremost, can we talk about this BRCA gene and when it comes to early examinations?
So screening is going to start a lot earlier if you have a family member that you know or known family history of you should request to your primary care doctor to get tested if you know you have a family history of multiple people in your family that have breast cancer or any types of cancer that are related, because there's a slew of different syndromes out there that have different cancers, including breast cancer as one of the symptoms. So I think it's important to ask your doctor to get tested, and then continue your screenings. For patients that have BRCA, you want to start your screenings at 25. You want to start early, very early. MRIs too.
But how would you even know to test? If somebody has cancer, you say, "Oh, let me get tested for the BRCA gene." Does your doctor say that?
When you see your doctor, you have to be like, "This is how many people in my family are I got tested for Lynch syndrome when I was I think maybe in my 20s, because my mom had different types of cancers, and they just, their ears perk up when you tell them these things. They're aware. They know what, as long as you tell them, this is who's had cancer in my family. This is, if you tell them everything and honest, and try to find out. It's hard for people. Sometimes you don't know who in your family has had it. So, but starting your screening early at 40, that's what most of the guidelines say, and just being aware and having awareness of your breast or having awareness of your body, I think is super important for patients to know, and being like, something's not right. If something's not right, say something.
So body gonna let you know.
Right.
If it feels abnormal, say something. I just feel like people operate in so much fear. And what is fear? False evidence appearing real. It's what you do not know.
Yes. I constantly tell patients when I walk into the room after they talk to the doctor and they still have questions, I'm like, hey, you have to be your advocate. Don't be afraid. And if you don't understand, ask again, because that's what the doctor's here for. And even if they walk in sometimes maybe feeling rushed, or you feel like you didn't get this is what you're here for. So I constantly tell patients, self-advocate for yourself. And if you don't feel like you got the best answers, it's okay to seek a second opinion. Most insurances now cover second opinions. So people are fearful of, oh, my copay, my insurance, this and that. And those things all operate in fear. And then ultimately you're shorting yourself, you're shorting your health. So it's really important to self-advocate for yourself. Don't be fearful. Ask again. I know these are doctors and they might intimidate you, but it's you. It's your health. So no matter what, be your biggest advocate.
Yeah, I can't agree with Sally more on that. I think it's really, ask the questions, ask people ask around. It's not, but just go in and find out early. It's better to do things and find out that you have something that you can deal with and manage. And, deal with the small cancer versus dealing with something that is just overgrown and taken over your whole life. So
hey, you have to be the captain of your ship. Where are you going? We had a caller call in to say she went through numerous rounds of chemo. In fact, Dr. Coste Holt just said she had a patient that was pregnant, had cancer, got treated, survived, and even lived and continued to live to breastfeed her baby. So if you can look up, you can get up. You ready, family? All right, we're going to take a quick break. We got to pay some bills. The phone lines are blowing up, so I'm going to come to you. And then I told you we have a listener decided to pull up.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's meet him.
It's time to have a real conversation with real people right now. I bet you didn't know this is what we do on the front page. Well, you better tell somebody, huh? All right, y'all. We're going to be right back. It's Radio Free, 102.3 KJLH. BRB.
This is The Front Page with Dawn Dai on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
Here we go.
Please welcome
Neo. This is Jeremiah, and this is family right here.
and a magnificent
Tony Braxton.
my girl her.
Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
What's up, Southern California? This is Guy Black. I'd love for you to join me every Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. We have all the fun. We play all your favorite throwbacks. And at 11 a.m., it's Guy Black's Battle Royale. I don't care who wins the battle. I just want to play all this good music.
I'm loving your show, Guy Black.
And I appreciate you. Join me Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I love you, and I love my job.
It's the Guy Black Show.
Hey, Los Angeles, I'm Tammy Mack, and traffic is never a problem from 3 to 7 p.m. when you are riding with the Tammy Mack Show, featuring Black Friday, trending topics, and, of course, you can talk to Tammy in the tea room. There ain't never been an afternoon show like this. Join me, Tammy Mack, 3 to 7 p.m. every afternoon.
It's the Tammy Mack Show.
102.3 Radio Free KJLH.
The soundtrack for your Saturday is here. I'm Cameron Green, and join me each and every Saturday for the Radio Free Top 23 Countdown. I'm counting down all the top songs straight from the KJLH playlist. Saturdays, 4 to 8 p.m., only on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
What's up, Southern California? This is Guy Black. I'd love for you to join me every Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. We have all the fun. We play all your favorite throwbacks. And at 11 a.m., it's Guy Black's Battle Royale. I don't care who wins the battle. I just want to play all this good music.
I'm loving your show, Guy Black.
And I appreciate you. Join me Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. I love you, and I love my job.
It's the Guy Black Show.
Hey, it's Steve Harvey, y'all. Here's what happened on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. So I'm not saying any of this is happening to the lady that wrote the letter, but I'm saying there's a lot of stupid going on in this letter, though. Gloria and Gloria old, because don't nobody name their kid Gloria no more.
What would her name be today?
Gloria? Glokesherish.
That's hard to say. What is it?
Glokesherish.
Weekdays from 6 to 10 on your station, 102.3 Radio Free KJLH.
You're listening to The Front Page with Dawn Dai on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
Family, I got this announcement to make. Radio Free 102.3 KJLH has tickets for you to see Frankie Beverly and Maze with the Isley Brothers. Wait, why did Dr. Coste Holt, her eyebrows raised up when I said that? Somebody's a fan. Well, it's happening February 18th at the YouTube Theater, and we have your access for VIP tickets to the Happy Feelings Lounge, so you can kick back and chill and sip and two-step, whatever it is that you do while the show is going on. Because it's all about love, soul, and R&B this Valentine's. So go ahead and sign up for your free tickets and VIP access at kjlhradio.com. And then when you get the tickets, YouTube Theater, I want you to think about Front Page and Dawn Dai and be like, you know what? That damn Dawn Dai is good for something. She got me tickets to see the Isley Brothers. All right. I love it. And what I love also is this awesome conversation we have right now. The lines are blowing up. So I definitely want to get to each and every one of you. This topic is near and dear to my heart. On this Wellness Wednesday, we are making room for two very, very special guests. We have Dr. Coste Holt as well as Sally Ghattas in the studio to discuss breast cancer, specifically when we're talking about women of color, because it's taking our lives. It's affecting the resources that we have access to, or perhaps that we don't know that we have access to. So I'm telling you right now, family, the day is now. The time is now for you to call whatever questions. We're live on social media. Sneak in your way there. In fact, Sister Dala, I don't know if you're streaming. She's sitting right here in the studio. She pulled up. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock, and as Sister Dala can affirm, the door will be opened unto you. Now, when we left off on this conversation, we had a discussion about genetically, when it's in your line and when it has histories, and how doctors are here to help you. And Sally said, hey, you got to advocate for yourself. If you have a question, ask. And during the break, when I had to go bring Sister Dollar from down the hallway, I said on my way out to Sally, I said, I want to make sure we touch on this. One, because out of that fear, because you're scared, it's a lot of information. I know myself, it's just blaring. You may not know all the questions to ask. And she said, Dawn, that's why it's so important to have an advocate with you. I also discussed with her, we shared previously talking about low income and these resources. So that's what we're about to tap into. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
So Sally, go ahead. We talked about advocates.
Yes. So we encourage when a patient calls in and says, I'm newly diagnosed, what is the next step? What do I do? I'm here for surgery. Where do I go see an oncologist? What is the next step? Well, when they set up an appointment and we go ahead and schedule them with our breast surgeons, it is highly encouraged to come in with a support group. It is so important to come in, because in that appointment, you're going to receive so much information. And as the patient, all you're thinking about is, I have breast cancer and I'm scared. Yeah. Right? So definitely when you're going to your physicians for your surgical consultations or your treatments, it's very important to bring, anybody that can support you, that can write things down, that can advocate, because if you don't, you're in a vulnerable space in that moment. So it's very important to try to, and if you don't have it, if you don't have somebody, it's okay, because there are resources and support groups that can help you, guide you. There's a forum of women.
Where?
That's why I'm here today.
Yeah.
I want to connect with all the resources.
Yes, absolutely. And so there is tons of resources. So one is particularly at UCLA, we have Sims Man.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Yeah. Sims Man.
Yeah.
Yes. And so they are a resource that will help you with your overall wellness. So they can get
They're integrative medicine. They're outside of just the oncology, the radiation oncology, and surgery. They provide other services. They help to, if you need financial assistance, if you need someone to talk to, if you need support groups, which I've attended myself and are fantastic.
To talk to people, right?
Just to talk to other people going through the same thing you're going, and they have they have support groups for caregivers. They have support groups for people that are, with terminal diseases. It's really fantastic, and they offer, qigong and other exercises to patients, like an incredible wealth of resources, at UCLA that we have. And I'm sure that it is available to other patients at any of the hospitals, I'm sure, especially that have a, cancer center.
Well, what you talk about low income, I recall when I shared with my family, front page family, about when I had a blood clot in my leg and I was on public assistance or, whatever. So I was over at Hubert Humphrey.
Yeah.
And I want to highlight even me being knowledgeable and just having confidence and speaking. And I just imagine somebody that may not be outgoing and maybe more of an introvert. I remember what I felt like asking the doctor questions, and it was almost condescending, as if I'm wrong about asking about my body. I don't know if the doctor felt like I was contradicting, and it's like, I'm trying to understand. My father transitioned. My father expired because of a blood clot. If you think that I'm not going to get clarity, what do you say in response to somebody that feels that way?
I mean, it's not. I think this is the third time this week. I'm on support group right now, and this is probably the third time this week I've had to talk to people, patients, family members who have dealt with callous physicians. And the job it's taxing on people, and I think sometimes we don't realize that this is a person in front of you, and they just need you to explain something to. They're not trying to challenge you. They're trying to understand. And sometimes they may come off as a challenge because like, here's what I say and do what I say and everything will be okay. And it's like, no, there has to be more than that. There has to be an explanation. You have to realize that this is a human being in front of you that has real feelings, that has real people that matters to. And it's a lot more than that. And it's confusing. And it's, for some people it's confusing. They don't deal with what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. For us, it's like A, B, C, D. It's back, it's easy knowledge. But for, for someone that doesn't know that, like, I'm not going to go and let me have the mechanic explain what's going on in my car.
Right.
Just fix it. That's how they expect most people to be. And that's when it's your own body, it's a lot different.
Because I can't run and leave this at the stove. I'm walking with this. I'm breathing with this. I'm talking, I'm functioning my family with this.
Right, exactly. So oftentimes you just have to let them know, like, hey, listen, I just want to know. I just need to understand. I'm willing to do the treatment. I'm willing to be a part. You need to participate in our care. We need to participate in our care together. And I tell my patients, we are on this journey together. This is your body. Mm-hmm. I'm just here to help you through this time.
Okay. Sally, you want to jump in?
I just wanted to mention that I do have a couple of resources outside of where we work. So Medi-Cal,
for low income?
Yes. So,
catch it, y'all.
So Medi-Cal does have a program called Every Woman Counts. Yes. And so it provides free breast cancer screenings and diagnostic imaging to anybody that qualifies. Yes.
You can get a scan that costs up like $250.
Yes. So if you are low income and you have Medi-Cal, please inquire about Every Woman Counts.
Yeah.
Yes. It's online. So it's on the website and it's through the DCHCS, and you can Google Every Woman Counts. And it's a great low income program that will get you going and screening, and it's free. There's also the Watts Healthcare Foundation and Ultimate Health. They all provide low-income screening mammograms and medical care.
Can
Watts Health Foundation and Ultimate Health?
Yes.
Can I give the number?
Yes, please.
It's 1-800-511-2300, and the number's 24/7. So they will reach out. 1-800-511-2300.
Y'all got that, family? Now, this is for Ultimate Health, or which one is this for?
This is for Every Woman Counts.
Okay, so you guys got that? If you are on Medi-Cal and you need some screenings, you need to figure out what's going on, go ahead and Google Every Woman Counts. If you do not have access to the internet or have challenge, here's the number. It's 800-511-2300. Again, 1-800-511-2300. Every woman counts. And that includes you. And since we're talking about women that count, I want to introduce you, family, to a very special guest. We have Sister Dollar. Now, you know I talk all the time. I say, pull up on me. Sister Dollar said, I'm pulling up on you. So first it was Miss Marilyn and Meredith. Now we got Sister Dollar. So asking you shall receive. You said Dawn. Well, I don't want to say it. You said, come on. Come on over here. Come on, okay. Scoot on up.
Okay.
Scoot on up. We live on the radio.
All right.
Speaking to the mic. So, great morning.
Great
family,
day, family. KJLH and the Stevie Wonder Station. I love you guys. I love your spirit. I love what I hear coming across the radio. So I asked God yesterday when I heard her say she was going to have some people here with breast cancer. What am I going to do with this? Because I just got diagnosed Monday. They have no more remedies for me. There's nothing else they can do for me at this point. We just got then I said, wait a minute, he didn't even talk about me just finishing up radiation. And I said, he didn't even ask, and I never met this guy before. He said he came and see me when I was in the hospital. But the doctor I was supposed to see after the radiation, that's who I thought I was going to see on Monday. But that's not who I seen. So they said there's nothing else they can do for me. I was like, I'm not planning a funeral. I'm planning a future.
Hello, somebody.
She called me, and I'm in touch with her, and she's going to come to the station where I record at on Thursdays afternoon. But God is so good, and I said, I'm not planning no funeral. I'm planning
So what you got a question for? You here in person, talking to
my question, I really want to show them after the show and stuff, because my body is going through changes that I'm not familiar with. And I went from having no breast to having a gigantic breast to a black breast to now it's changing colors. After the radiation, I went through a bunch of color changes, and now I feel like somebody actually got a knife and stabbing me. And like I said, it's a way that somebody can my research is showing me that cancer is a mask of a body that's at ease. This ease is a disease in your body, but the government has a cure for every disease that attacks your human body. Why don't they give it to us?
So I guess let's first talk about what she's experiencing. She just, something, I said my mother had breast cancer 3 times. Some things that you sound familiar. I remember my mom getting radiation. I remember the raw. So she said, hey, I started out with no breast. This comes and maybe we can tap in the fact of how we have to do those self-exams. Yeah. Because that's when it's getting larger. And then let's talk about the discoloration and what Sister Dala had experienced. Either one of you.
I was just going to say. Yeah, so...
we making our way. We got
so
the mics.
So the radiation that's very, very common for women to get those changes after.
Those changes include?
Just peeling, redness. You can get hardening of the breast right after. I mean, it's almost, for a lot of people, it's like a sunburn. It depends on how much radiation you're getting to the breast. So, and those changes last for years. They don't just go away. They last for years.
It's a lot of psychological stuff. Do we even talk about that?
Yeah. And also, if I had a cure, you'd be the first to get it. I'm honest to God on that. We don't know. We're still learning a lot about this disease. There's still a lot to be learned. Oh, sorry. There's a lot to be learned about breast cancer. If I had a cure, I would give it.
So, but can you just highlight what she's saying of this process that Sister Dala has experienced? She said no breast. Then there was a lump. And now she's talking about this pain. Can we just say what kind of the stages are when we talk about a tumor and what that development process looks like?
Well, I mean, again, if you're not getting screened for it, the process is you may develop a mass. You may develop retraction of, the nipple area. It'll pull back. You'll get hardening of the breast. It'll feel like it can sometimes look like an orange. Like if it looks like a big orange, like the way the oranges kind of dimple in on the skin, they call it peau d'orange. That's another thing. And eventually you can start to feel in underneath your armpits and
the lymph nodes,
the lymph nodes. Yeah.
What is it, like a bump in there? What is it?
It feels like, when you get sick, how sometimes you get a vaccine, you get sick, they start to feel like little, almost like little beads or nodules, and you can feel them. So you can feel that there. You can feel them on your neck. You can feel them everywhere. And I mean, sometimes, the symptoms are painless. Some people don't get anything. Until, maybe it's far more advanced. Typically, that's why we encourage the screening, getting your mammograms at 40, so we can see what's in the breast and get it out before it takes a hold of your breast, and we have to take the whole thing out.
Sally, did you want to chime in?
Yeah.
No, she covered it.
Can I say breast cancer was October? October is up. So breast cancer was in October. So the month of October is up. So this breast cancer got to go. It extended its stay already.
That's right.
This is February. This is a love month. I expect to see love, and I'm getting love already from my sister Dawn Dai. And I thank God for her spirit. It's beautiful, y'all. I mean, she's beautiful inside and out. And God told me to pull up on him. I didn't know what was going to happen when I pulled up.
I know either. I said,
but
okay.
I pulled up on him, and I was always told not to come empty-handed, so I don't come empty-handed. I try to bring
Sister
some juice.
We got donuts, we got juices, all we gonna snack on.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get to these callers. Let me just put some things, an announcement out there. When we talk about breast cancer rates, and I just want to list some known risk factors, and it can definitely vary by race and ethnicity when we talk about the development of cancer. 1 is the age of your first period.
Yep.
2, age at menopause. I also read that age at first childbirth. I hear that if you're having children later in life, that can increase that.
After age 35.
Damn.
Yeah.
And 35 is so young.
It's so young. I'm almost 35. I haven't had kids yet. I'm there.
Thank you. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Body weight. You mentioned that. Obesity, because it turns off the markers and estrogen and so forth. Breastfeeding can cause it? Or
no,
reduce?
Breastfeeding is actually protective. So there are certain things that are protective. Breastfeeding is protective for you. So the more you breastfeed,
protecting yourself or the baby, or both.
Yeah, breastfeeding your child protects you from breast cancer. It helps protect you from breast cancer.
The number of childbirths?
The number of children that you've had, yes, because it decreases the amount of periods. It's about the overall exposure to estrogen. That's what it's doing.
What? So now this may sound ignorant. I don't know. It's a real question. So if the amount of estrogen is what causes the cancer, could a treatment be taking testosterone?
No. So let me correct you on that. The treatment is anti-estrogen. So we give patients that have estrogen positive cancers, after they've completed their treatment, they stay on what's called tamoxifen is a very common drug. It's a selective estrogen receptor modulator, or they get on AIs, aromatase inhibitors, which is for postmenopausal women. When you have breast cancer, it also matters. Like when you have it premenopausal, postmenopausal, we give those to older patients because that has significantly reduced the risk of recurrence and having another new cancer on the opposite breast.
And that's something that doctors have asked me. They say, okay, well, when was it that your mother first was diagnosed with cancer?
Yeah.
So like you mentioned age. All right. Now listen, we're going to the phones blindly. Now, some of you guys have been on hold for a while because we have so much information. Amazing guests have popped up on us. So we may go to line. It may not be there, but we're going to keep rolling. So you've been waiting. Let's keep it clear and concise because we got a lot of people that need some information. So if I have to end the line, it's not because I don't love you. It's just a lot of people that I'm trying to reach. You here with me, family? All right, let's go to line 2. Great morning, it's the front page. All right, let's bounce to line 3. Great morning, this is the front page. Are you there? All right, let's go to the next line. Great morning, this is the front page. All right, let's go to the first one. Oh, wait. Okay, let's go to the first one. Are you there? Great morning, it's the front page.
Here.
All right. We had some callers on hold for a while, so I understand some people had to depart. But you're still here. Tell me, what's your name and where you're calling from?
This is the captain. Right now, I'm in Chicago, headed to Memphis for the funeral of Tyree Nichols. And I just want to tell you all, it is very important to make sure you consume your bodies with a lot of vegetables. Okay, if you can eat it raw, that's better. Broccoli, carrots, onions, prunes. Stuff that is very good for you to eradicate all those cancers, especially carrots. That is very, very, very good for you. And if you have cancer, it's not over.
It's not over.
It's not over. You have to be a fighter, okay? You have to have it in your mind and the will to live. And you can replenish all those horrible bad cells with positive energy, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables. That's what the game plan should be.
Thank you, Captain. I appreciate you. Let's go to the next caller on line 2. Great morning. This is the front page.
Good morning. This is Judy from Inglewood. I'm a cancer survivor.
Hey, Judy, can you cut your radio down for me, please?
I'm going to cut it off for you, Dawn.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Hi, Judy.
Good morning. I just wanted to call in and say, excuse me, my name is Judy. I'm from Inglewood. Don, I appreciate you. God bless your guest this morning. I'm a cancer survivor. I was HER2 positive, stage 2 aggressive. I did 7 years of chemo, 2 bouts of radiation. But what got me through it was God, of course, and encouragement. You have to keep yourself surrounded with good people who are encouraging you, who are praying for you, and you have to cheer yourself on. I was my biggest cheerleader. Molly Music, I'm More Than a Conqueror.
Yes, Molly.
That was my theme song. You have to get yourself a theme song. You have to be your biggest cheerleader. And you just have to be positive. You have to say, I got this. You have to tell yourself over and over, I got this. You have to follow the doctor's orders, do what you're supposed to do, stay on course, and you can do it. I did 7 years of Herceptin chemo. I did some other chemos. I did radiation. It's okay, ladies, men, because men do get breast cancer. We got this.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I think that's something else we need to address. When I first came on, I had a gentleman call in who had breast cancer. So thank you for that,
right.
Judy.
Yeah, so encourage yourself. It's not a death sentence.
That's right. Because if you
and use the resources these ladies are giving out. Write down them phone numbers. Use some resources. They hear. Let's use them, y'all. They talk about us.
Hello, somebody.
Tap into this.
Thank you so
much. Tap in. Okay, I love y'all. Keep it up.
I love you too.
Thank you.
Tap in. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Yes. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. You ask for the resources. You say that's why you love the front page. Well, I have the people in the studio with the resources and information that you need. Now, if you are low income and you say, hey, I could use some support. Hey, who can I reach out to questions? Well, every woman counts. And you can go and check them out and call 1-800-511-2300. Again, that's 1-800-511-2300. In addition to that, we have the Watts Health Foundation. And you said Ultimate what now?
Ultimate Health.
And Ultimate Health.
Yes.
These are ways.
Also, with outside of my career job, I am a part of my nonprofit that my friends and I started, and it's called It's Bigger Than Us, and it's based out of South Central LA. And so we also work on creating pathways for our community through health equity and community activations. So in these community activations that we have, we also provide health resources. We have Drew University there. We have we partner with tons of different clinics, and so there's you can follow us on Instagram. It's Bigger Than Us, and you'll show up. There's tons of resources there as well. Mental health, COVID, anything and everything. So that's also another free resource, and I'm there. And so if you pull up, I can help in any way. So.
She said it right here. In fact, I met Sally at It's Bigger Than Us event. They actually sponsored the event for Winter Wonderland.
Right.
It's possible. And if it's bigger than us, well, we can't do it without us. And when we come together, we can go further. Are you ready? Are you ready for the joy that you're claiming for your life? Now, I told you that, guys, that we are streaming live on Instagram as well as on Facebook at Dawn Dai Speaks. We have a comment from Chase J. Wesley, and I want to know if you guys can affirm or if you have any insight on this. Chase J. Wesley said that Trump passed a law that won't allow women under the age of 45 to be screened for free. Is this correct?
I'm not
aware of that.
Yeah,
because every woman counts. Just said, hey, we can do this for free.
There's a lot of different recommendations. The USPSTF, which is the United States Preventive Task Force, they recommend screening to start at 50 and do it biannually. Whereas like the ACS, the American Cancer Society, recommends age 40.
Yeah, that's what I was reading. 40.
Other societies like ACOG, other medical societies recommend it varies. 40 is the recommended for what I recommend 40. Usually insurance will start paying at 40. So
you hear that, family?
Yeah.
And if you got it in your genes because you're somebody in your family, you need to get tested. What?
You qualify earlier.
Exactly.
So it's all based on your health. And again, it's doing the right research, asking the right people, and not taking no for an answer.
Oh, Dawn, I don't know who to ask. Well, I told you right here. Start with Every Woman Counts. Now, you mentioned the program over where you guys both work at UCLA called SIMS, right?
SIMS,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's out here. All right, what's out here, too, is that you guys are calling in the studio. 520-KJLH, 520-5554. Great morning. Let's go to line 1. This is the front page.
Hello, Dawn.
Hey, can you cut down your radio for me, please?
Yes.
Hi.
My name is O'Shea, and I had an aunt that was very dear to me, and she had came up with cancer, and I did all kind of research to figure out to help her, to get this situation straightened out. And I came across Trader Joe's Bob's Red Mill aluminum-free baking soda. And we all know about the electrolyte water. Now, I understood that the electrolyte water is good for our body, and a lot of people don't know too much about aluminum-free baking soda. Now, my understanding, if I use the electrolyte and 2 tablespoons of the Bob's Red Mill aluminum-free baking soda, and you heat it up in a sense like tea, and you can drink it. And as you drink it, it oxidates your blood. And everything that you have that's going on, tumor, fibroids, cancer, it receives oxygen inside of that certain entity or whatever that's going on within your body. And the more oxygen it feeds, the more it kills it off. And I try to explain that to my family that was looking after my aunt at the time. And I was very upset with myself because I brought the electrolyte water in the brown bottle from the store that they serve, electrolyte water, 8.5 with a little 9.2 inside. And
did it
I
help or did it support? What did you yield the results? I'm just wondering with the family because we want to make sure we give accurate information. Did you read this from somewhere? Did she try it? Okay.
I read into it, and I, found out by using electrolyte water and aluminum-free baking soda, it'll oxidate her blood, and it'll start killing off the cancer cells, tumors, fibroids, and all that. So I told the family about it, and I brought it, but I was upset that I didn't be the first person to start giving it to her. Okay. And I had trusted them to do it in the proper way, and they never did, and she ended up dying. So I was very upset with myself because I knew what I researched and found out was very much true. And for them to not understand where I was coming from and the research I did, because I'm a researcher.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, O'Shea. And I hope you make room to forgive yourself that you did the best that you know how, because I can look back at my mother. I remember looking at her, and I got upset with her because she could not open a can of pop or her drink. She couldn't open the can, and I said, Mama, you ain't trying hard enough. And I'm like, Dawn, do you think if she could open a can or if she really wanted to put the fork to her mouth that she could? So one, relieve yourself of that, O'Shea. Okay, we're making room to forgive, and I want to thank you for calling in and sharing that information in regards to baking soda. So, doctor, have you heard of anything like that? And what are your thoughts on alternative medicine in general?
I mean, I think there's definitely a space for alternative medicine. I think they can, all things can be true. But again, I've studied, I've done a lot of research in cancer myself. So it's not something I've heard of, but it doesn't mean that it would hurt.
Right.
So it's definitely something to add to your treatment. If it feels like it's adding to your treatment and you feel like it's making you better, there's nothing there's no harm when you talk to your doctor about what you plan on doing. Definitely go for it. But there are you got to be careful out there because there are a lot of things that are sold to us that aren't necessarily true and that aren't going to help us. But you should always communicate with your doctor, communicate with your care team, and let them know, hey, this is what I'm interested in doing. Is this going to hurt or help? And you can make an informed decision when you talk to your care team.
Mm-hmm. Communicate. Yeah. Sally, did you want to say something?
No, I agree. Yeah, I mean, it's always best to be in the loop with your doctor, whatever your doctor's saying. I mean, we go, I think what I've noticed is a lot of patients go on this deep dive, right? Yeah. As soon as you get this diagnosis, it's like, let me get on Google and look. Well, yeah, the internet is very useful. It's a great tool, but there's also a lot of false information. So you have to be careful with what you do, what you say. What you do with your body, because it's your temple. So you want to make sure that you're doing the right things. And if like Dr. Coste said, if it's something that's proactive and helping, then yeah, for sure, go for it. But healthy lifestyle, healthy decisions are number one top priority. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, let's go to line 2. Great morning. This is the front page. Let's get to line 3. Great morning. This is the front page. All right, let's get back to our conversation and what we're talking about. Let's talk about these aggressive forms of cancer, and especially because we talked about TNBC a bit. Mm-hmm. We got regular cancer, then this aggressive. What's the difference and what's going on?
I mean, like I said, the problem with the triple negatives, at least, is just that we don't have good targets. There's not as many targets. We have all cancers, all breast cancers have receptors on it. Estrogen, progesterone, and the HER2. As our caller was talking about, the HER2 positive, we have treatments for those.
Well, Sister Dolla's up here.
They diagnosed me with HER2 when I first got diagnosed.
So, Sister Dalla said they diagnosed her with HER2. What is that exactly?
HER2 is a receptor on the cancer cell that basically controls how fast and how quickly cells are replicating.
So it
controls
stage one
it's supposed to be turns off. It can be at any stage.
Oh.
It can be any stage. It depends on how early they find it, but they have drugs called Perjeta, Herceptin, that target these drugs. Usually patients that have any stage 2 and above, they can get a neoadjuvant, what we call it's treatment before surgery. So chemotherapy before surgery, they'll get those treatments before, and then we'll shrink the tumor, and then we'll take
Then
the
we can
patient's
move from
yeah,
there.
exactly. So,
All right.
and then they stay on treatment afterwards to make sure it's still gone.
Right. To
For a
get
year,
everything down.
afterwards. Yeah.
I hope we get a chance to really talk about the mental effects when it comes to that. But I want to make sure, family, that if you have questions or comments that you heard, because we're going to be wrapping up in a few minutes. So let's go to line 1. Great morning. This is the front page.
Hello?
Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
I was joining on the conversation, and I think that, I don't know, there's like a generational consensus about being scared to be checked out for mammograms and breast cancer. Like, I just had a friend that had one done, and I can remember being a little girl and everyone saying how bad it hurts. And I think it discourages people from even going in to get checked out in the first place. And then there is a fear of doctors not being on your side or giving you information that's experimental.
What do y'all have to say about that? You doggone right. Thank you so much for your comment.
Yeah, thank you.
Wait. Mm-hmm.
I was just going to say, mammograms are not pleasant. They're not pleasant. And what, for those that don't know, mammogram is just a low energy x-ray of the breast. They basically take the breast and they push it down into horizontally down and then vertically down to get images of the breast to look at the tissue inside of the breast. And it's very sensitive to, especially for screening. So it's not a comfortable thing, but neither is a colonoscopy.
And neither is having to have mastectomy.
Yeah.
Or having to go through chemo treatment.
Right. What is it? A pound of what is it? A pound of cure is worth of, or an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That's
Catch
what it
it.
is.
I like that.
Couldn't get it.
There we go. It came.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to line 2. Great morning. This is the front page.
Good morning.
Hey.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, how y'all doing this morning?
Good,
I'm glad that you guys, that's great. It's good to talk to all of you guys, and thank you guys for having this forum this morning, Don. This is Leo. Some time ago, I did a Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure tour, and I learned a lot about it. And what happens is if you don't kind of press your doctor, because all doctors are not the same, and some doctors that are not of African American descent don't understand African American culture, so they don't understand questions that African Americans have. So what I learned on that is that Don said it right, and you guys are saying the right things. You have to kind of push your idea on your body because you're living it. Yes, you've been in it all your life. You have to make sure that, whatever that feeling is to the left or to the right or the top of your breast, because I've seen women on that tour across the country that didn't want a mastectomy, didn't have to have a mastectomy, but got one because of the information that they received. And it's very important that people go a little farther. Like you guys say, you can do all the research you want on Google, but some of that stuff isn't true. So you really have to go to a professional. You have to go to New England Journal of Medicine. You have to go to places like that to kind of get both sides of it, whether you're doing holistic or you're doing traditional. And people have to understand those things because there are cures out there.
Housekeeping, they kicking us out the studio.
Anyway, I'm not going to keep you guys long.
Thank you so much.
I just want to tell you it's very important that you guys keep talking about this because it's a lot of us, men and women alike, don't even know.
Thank you so much. I hate to do this. I gotta go. Real quick, there are 3 types of mammograms. What should people get? Two, I would say. The 2D mammogram is what the traditional gold standard right now. We also have the 3D, which is or the tomosynthesis, which is another type of a mammogram that takes like almost an arc image. Okay.
The 2D mammogram can be made into a 3D image of your breast. So a lot of systems will just integrate the 2D. But those are the two times. But screening is to check to see if you have breast cancer, and diagnostic is to look for other cancers.
Okay, somebody go ahead real quick.
Just really, really quick. I wanted, based off of the caller, I just want patients to know, or people out there, that your treatment is unique to yourself. So it's very important to know that. You might have a friend who had breast cancer as well, but just because she got a certain treatment does not mean that your path will be the same.
So know yourself.
So
Make
know
room
yourself.
for yourself so to be unique. Real quick, where can they follow if you got questions? I don't know, social media. I don't know, a website.
I'm at Sally That Chica and on Instagram.
And I'm at Dr_new NOU on Instagram.
Gotcha. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. Tomorrow is Tell Me Something Good Thursday. Hey, thank y'all for coming in and sharing this information.
Thank you, Dawn.
Sister Dollar, talk to these doctors, talk to these medical assistant professionals and get this information. Hey, that's what we fighting every day, all day. Happy Black History Month.
Yes.
This is the front page. I'm Dawn, like the break of day. Let me get out of here. If you want to follow me on all social media, like Sister Dollar did and pulled up at Dawn DAI Speaks. Hey, you know I always say I'm in the business of making dreams come true. And I damn sure ain't gonna forget about mine. So until next time, always remember, you are your greatest asset.
This is The Front Page with Dawn Day on Radio Free 102.3 KJLH.
102.3 Radio Free KJLH.
Did you know with the high cost of living due to